Now if you see here, you can spin it freely, which is a good sign as long as you can spin it freely. But I don't know how much you can see it, but it wobbles. Maybe if I go on the other side here. It shouldn't wobble like that. It actually wobbles front to back, and you don't want that. It should be, and that's where the sound's coming from. So I'm going to change this out, and all you do, you don't even have to take the belt off. What you do is you take this cover off. It's got a bolt right here. Then it has another bolt right here. You just want to take this off. That's a piece of cake. There's nothing, that's not hard to take off at all. So you take this, you loosen those bolts, and that will slide right up, but you have to loosen the fan first. So you get one of these kits. And you can rent it out from AutoZone. But gosh, it's like $110 or something like that to rent it out. But you can take it back, and they give you like $110 back. And then the part itself, which goes in the center of this fan, I got a El Cheapo one, and that was like $60. So I'm gonna start taking this apart, and the fan will stay. This plastic part fan, it's just the centerpiece that you're gonna change. Let me show you. It's just this part right here you're gonna change. So let me get to work. First thing you want to do is disconnect the ground to your battery, and then put this wire like in a safe place off to the side. Next thing you want to do is disconnect the shroud for the radiator. And then I have a bolt right here, air filter hose. So just disconnect here, and I guess just disconnect that if you want to. We'll see once I get this out how far I can push it back. If not, then I'll just take off this, and maybe take this off too, just so it don't damage the connector there. Okay, on mine, all I had to do was pull it out from here, and it's just held in with some plastic connectors. You can get it out by hand, or if you have trouble, use a flat tip screwdriver. The next step is to get the fan clutch bolt off. So all I'm doing is taking a pair of adjustable pliers, and I'm just turning it. I was actually able to do it with my own hand strength, just turn it. You may, if you have a big wrench that goes on there, I'm not sure what size that is. It's definitely bigger than a 15 millimeter. But if you have a bigger wrench and it's longer, and it can stick up to like here, you can actually just hammer it that way with the belt on, and that'll loosen that bolt for you. So once I get that loose, this fan, along with the bolt and the clutch and this shrouding, will all come off together. And if you do it right, you just pull it out by your hand like that, like so. And both will come out together. Just keep your hand on the fan so it doesn't fall. Okay, next step, put that new guy, the new clutch, in here. So what you do, you take these bolts off here, and these are 10 millimeter bolts. Now that you got the bolts removed, just simply pick up on this. It's going to stick really tight, so you're going to want to put your one hand here and then grab here and just pull, and then it will come unstuck. And then that's our bad one. And then just put the next one next to it. Make sure it's kind of similar. This actually has a thicker bolt on it, a larger bolt than this old one does, but that's why I got the kit from AutoZone to put this one on. So let me throw this in here. Next thing we do is put this on here like so, and then we'll put the bolts on. Okay, I got the new bolts on, nice and firm, and we're going to stick that in. Same process to take it out, same procedure. You just want to put it within the house, within the shrouding, and then lower them both down in at the same time, and then put that back on the crankshaft and just tighten it by turning it to the left, because it's the opposite of lefty-loosey. Oh, so as you can see, I slid them both down there. It's a lot easier with two people if one's holding the fan while the other one's sliding this back in place, if you have a friend or buddy that can help you out. But once you get this shrouding slid down, just make sure there is a hose here off to the left. Make sure it doesn't get caught on that while you're pushing it down. There's nothing really over on this side except copper hoses, but just be careful as you're sliding it in. And then once you get this seated, the shrouding, the rest is a piece of cake, because then you can position the fan on the fan clutch onto the bolt there and just start turning it to the left. So this is from my kit that I got from AutoZone, and all I did was turn it to the left, and there is no torque specifications for this. You just keep turning it to the left. You can turn it to the left all you want, but when you turn the motor on, just get it on there enough that it's, that it's snug. And then once you turn the motor on, the motor's going to go this way, the fan's going to spin this way, and that's going to tighten the bolt for you. Let me see here. Did I say that right? Well, either way, the bolt's going to get tightened for you once you turn the fan on. But just keep going like that. And then, but before you turn everything on, make sure you get your bolts back on and your battery connected back up. Okay, so secure the housing. The cover for the radiator. Next, you're going to want to put the air filter back on. I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand, so after you get your air hose back on, check your connectors. This one broke a long time ago, but I check it every once in a while, make sure it's tight. I'll have to buy a new one sometime eventually, but you want to make sure these are tight, because if they're loose, then you'll get your engine light will come on. It's no big deal, but your fuel efficiency just won't be as... Okay, next step is connect your battery terminal back up, your negative. Make sure they're clean and they're nice. If you ever have starting issues, always check the battery terminal, just because if it doesn't have that connection, it can cause your engine to do all types of weird things. So I've learned that through experience, not only with my truck but with other people's vehicles.